Welcome back to Inside the 12. The season winding down, the pressure ramping up. Time now for What to Watch, presented by Children's Health. TCU at Cincy is a good under-the-radar game. Also, Kansas will try to regain their footing as they take on Oklahoma State. We're going to start with the site of game day. We just talked to Kelvin Sampson, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, Iowa State at Houston. King, what are your thoughts on this huge game?
Yeah, this is going to be a battle of two elite-level defenses. I think what it comes down to is Emmanuel Sharp for Houston. When you look at his last game against Arizona State, he hit 4 or 5 triples. I was on that call. Hit 4 or 5 triples, finally finding his footing to be able to knock down shots again, because he was struggling in the last 6 before that. So if he can knock down shots and take pressure off of L.J. Cryer, take pressure off J'Wan Roberts, take pressure off of Uzan, and he adds another threat because Uzan and Cryer have they've risen to the tide. They've risen their level of play. But if Sharp can knock down shots and be sharp, they have a good chance to win this game. For Iowa State, where does the scoring come from? You notice Houston defense is going to take you out of what you like to do. They're going to clog the lane and make it really hard for you to get downhill. Where does the outside shooting come from? Momcilovic has to be big.
Has to be big. You're exactly right. I share the same opinion. A big test and an important game, 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. West Virginia travels to Lubbock. King, what are you looking for in West Virginia to take down Texas Tech? Could be a second straight loss for Texas Tech and Grant McCasland if the Mountaineers can get it going.
Yeah, well, number one, it's going to be extremely difficult because after the upset, I personally know that Grant McCasland was not happy about that. So I know that they're going to be locked in, re-energized, and refocused. For me, West Virginia, you have to find a way to slow down JT Toppin. And you have to find a way to get Javon Small going because too many times there's a lot of pressure on him. Who else is going to step up and score? Will it be Powell? Will it be Hansberry?
You had them against Baylor.
Yeah.
Who was the second guy in that game that you noticed, like, okay, this is someone who can shoulder the load?
Powell. Powell was a guy who can be able to score. He's a great shooter at 6'6", 6'7". You also have Hansberry, who can step out and shoot the 3 and spread the floor. But they have to find a second option to score the basketball because there's too much pressure right now on Javon Small.
Yeah, and there'll be a lot of pressure turned up. All right, late one, 10 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. It is a good one. Arizona hosting BYU. Arizona finally back at home. Can the Cougars score an upset in Tucson? Would be another upset for them.
It's going to be tough. I mean, the way that the Arizona came into BYU in the first matchup and did what they did to them, it's going to be tough for the Cougars to be able to get a dub at the McKell Center in Arizona. However, I do think if they knock down shots like they normally do, and with the way that they just beat Kansas to handle them, I think that gives your team an extra level of confidence. So I think they do have a chance.
Saturday afternoon affair in Boulder on ESPN+. I'm lucky enough to be calling that one. Baylor's first time back in Boulder since 2010. I know you didn't play there, right?
I definitely didn't play there.
No, how does Baylor keep it going and get a win on the road, an inch closer to the NCAA tournament? I mean, they're a lock to make the tournament, but they got to improve their status.
Yeah, they got to figure out a way to get all of their guards on the same page. If they can get all their guards on the same page to be able to score the basketball, share it the way that they know that they can do, right? And be able to find a way to keep North out of foul trouble, they have a great chance.
Always great to share time with King McClure. That is all for us this week on Inside the 12. For the great King McClure, our entire crew, I am Pete Souza. We'll see you next week.